Department is reportedly trying to build an attempted assassination case against Ryan Ruth, the gunman accused of firing shots at Trump's Florida golf course, or at least having a gun there. Federal investigators are reviewing his electronic devices and interviewing witnesses to identify a motive as they work to bring more serious charges against him. He is currently only facing gun-related charges. And happening today, the House will vote on Congressman Mike Lawler's bill that would give presidential candidates the same protections from the Secret Service as a sitting president. And Hillary Clinton appeared on The View, ripping into former President Trump. Nothing new here.
He is, though, someone who has a kind of visceral ability to trigger people, trigger their hatred, their anger, their insecurity, their fears, anxieties. He actually just wanders around, and then he comes up with, something that gets people upset, gets them, working to, think about what they can do, which is to be with him.
She also discussed the state of the election and her role in advising Vice President Harris before the debate between her and Trump.
What the hell is that? Listen, we need backup. We've got company.
Whoa, they're spicy today.
What is that, a bazooka? I didn't sign up for this.
Yes, Jerry. Yes, Jerry. Oh, man. Can we do Batman? Can we do Trump Batman memes? Can we load up Trump saying he's Batman? Do you know that Trump did that? Do you know that one of Trump's first viral clips whilst running for president was looking a kid in the face? He looked a little boy in the face. Kid was like 9 years old. And he goes, "I'm Batman," as he takes off in a helicopter. It's real. We're living, ladies and gentlemen, in the simulation. Come on, boys. Let's get that clip. That's an oldie but a goodie from 2015, I think. 2015. Vintage Trump declaring that he is, in fact, Batman. I love that. A cold, Jerry. This is great. Gets the people going. Today is Friday, September 20th, 2024. We're going to talk about fake polling and the map as it stands right now for the presidency of the United States. Let not your heart be troubled. And a reminder, this is a no black pills zone. We should probably make like a stinger that says no black pills. Bombshell claims that there are now multiple assassination teams targeting President Trump. Kamala holds cringe event with Oprah that should be, can cringe be a weapon of mass destruction? I don't know. Last guy who tried to kill Trump got a weapon of mass destruction charge. We are going to show you weapons of mass cringe that could destroy civilization today. Kamala and Oprah, man, it was bad last night. A member of Congress who has been briefed on the 5 foreign and domestic assassination teams hunting Donald Trump will join the program. His name is Andy Biggs. He's a spectacular member of Congress from the great state of Arizona. And an announcement that Matt Gaetz will be on the program on Monday to tell us all about this. Matt Gaetz, also somebody who's, of course, one of the closest advisors that you can get with President Trump. We look forward to all of it. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Allegiance Gold, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? We talk about it a lot. Have you checked the gold markets? Never been higher. And this is not investment advice, but just check out the markets themselves. The markets speak for themselves. They just cut the rates, 50 basis points, biggest cut in history for a first cut. And what does that mean? Trying to rig it for Kamala. They're going to start the money printers all over again, and they're going to devalue your dollars, invest in something real. My friends at Allegiance Gold can help you out. ProtectWithBenny.com today, 844-66-BENNY, $5,000 in free silver with a qualifying purchase. Silver also. Don't get fooled, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm no fool. You don't want to take. I mean, listen. I'm no whiz investor. I'm no good at the casinos. Don't take me to the casinos. You'll lose everything. I'm not a big bet it all. Bet the whole farm. No, man. Gold. It was good enough for your grandpa. It was good enough for when they started our currency, and it's good enough for you today. ProtectWithBenny.com today. Okay. Let's jump into polling. We want to do polling segments up off the top of every single show to show you where we're at. Rasmussen, our dear friends, up with some amazing trends here. Donald Trump up 5 points today. 5 points today in the Rasmussen. He was up to 8 points yesterday. It's not hopium or copium. These are the most accurate polls in America. These are the pollsters that have gotten it right and have successfully modeled the last 3 elections. So you should pay attention to them. This is why we're going to start. We're going to start with Rasmussen. We're going to bring their pollsters on the program. This is something that's very important, and it's something that's going to, it's a really essential part of, well, what we wish to sort of build into our models here when it comes to the election. And oh yes, we have the Batman clip. This is great, fantastic. We will play you that in a second as we get through our polling block here, ladies and gentlemen. New York Times, Siena has the race tied. Georgia poll says it's tied. Pennsylvania says it's tied. Ohio poll, it's got to show Trump up. Let's look, ladies and gentlemen. Ohio has Trump up by 10 points. That's good. That seems like an accurate poll. And Virginia is statistically tied, which would be a massive pickup for President Trump. That's great. That's crazy stuff. I want to bring your attention here to this post here from Erica Daughtry, who does spectacular work. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you're going to see today is some news that Nate Silver's model has flipped, and we've covered Nate Silver's model as well. What you need to factor in on that, and what Nate Silver's model flipping is just the probability. So now Nate Silver's saying the probability is 50-50. Okay, Killer Klein, I put the tweet in the chat that I want to talk about here real fast. Left-leaning polls have entered Nate Silver's model, including Quinnipiac, FNM, Morris, Morning Consult, Siena, and Out with Intelligence. The Electoral College is a toss-up. So this is something that just not to get too mathematically algorithmic here, but it's very important to understand strategy, and they'll never, ever, ever learn. We got to get it minted, guys. We got to get it ALX. I got to get it like minted. I want it up in the studio. I want it up in the studio for the rest of all time. We're going to go to the Washington Post. We're going to give some money to Washington Post, and we're going to buy the front page of the Washington Post. On Election Day, 2016, the front page of the Washington Post said, Donald Trump approaches 0% chance of winning the election. That's what the front page of the Washington Post said. That was called a suppression poll. It wasn't real. Polling models are broken. The way that polling models are used is to create hopium and copium for the Democrat Party, and this is what they're doing right now. They're over-indexing and oversampling Democrats. And so I do not want you to see these polls and go, oh, wow, all is lost. Shucks, Trump's down 1 point. Within the margin of error, Trump's down. No, that actually means Trump's up probably 10, especially in these swing states. You must understand how they rig polls, and you must understand the reason for them to rig polls is to create narratives. Kamala won the debate. That's not true. They want to create narratives. That helps drive fundraising. That helps drive people to be suppressed, right? The point is to suppress people. No, these are motivating polls. These should motivate you to vote and vote even harder, ladies and gentlemen, for President Trump, and then to bring 10 of your friends to the polls. Early voting has started, and there are some really excellent signs. But they build in these left-wing biases into these polls. They build them in. And oh, by the way, isn't it interesting? Giveth and taketh away how they can suddenly poll correctly when it's Joe Biden and they want Joe Biden out. Isn't that amazing? They started polling correctly, Joe Biden. They started doing real polls against Joe Biden, and they pull the rug out from him. Remember Joe Biden down by 15 in swing states against Trump? When they actually do it accurately, they know what they're doing, so don't get tricked. This is all I'm trying to say here. Don't get tricked. And yet, final thing, and yet, it's still all a toss-up in spite of everything they've done to sugar high, diabetes type 2, literally amputating legs. They've shoved so much sugar high into Kamala. I mean, you're talking gangrenous, like appendages getting amputated now because they've pumped so much fake cotton candy hype around Kamala. And then you watch her just get destroyed last night. I mean, just to the cleaners. She can't handle it. She can't take it. And if her Yaya sisters, if her Yaya twins aren't moderating the debate and she's not given the pre-scripted answers and doesn't read them on stage like a good little actress, then she falls to pieces. And we've seen that. So it's going to be very, very interesting. We're going to keep our eyes on the polls. The path to 270. Here we go. This is the path, ladies and gentlemen. Trump is up. Go.
You're the guru here. You can explain it for us. Give us the paths for Trump to get to 270 and beyond.
Well, I'll do it very quickly. I mean, I've got a little piece of paper here. Georgia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. If Trump carries those three, he wins. Alternatively, if Georgia, Arizona, North Carolina, Michigan go his way and he loses some of these other states, he wins. He's got to concentrate on senior voters, though. He's down in the polls with senior voters, and that's what get him high enough so that he can get above any question about voter turnout, which Democrats are very good at.
So you have so many paths. Kamala Harris doesn't really have any path to victory. So Kamala Harris is going to have to, quite frankly, pray for some water pipe bursting as quickly as possible on election day. Don't worry, everything's good all year except for election night. That's when all the water pipes burst. Remember, they only burst when they're counting the ballots. Everyone's got to go home. It's really something. Oh man. So we need that energy. We need that energy heading into the polls. Too big to rig is my favorite slogan that the Trump campaign has rolled out this year. Too big to rig, especially in states like Pennsylvania, especially in states like Georgia and Arizona. Those three, done. We're calling it 9 p.m. on election night. Those three states, roll in, done. That's it. That's the ball game. And Trump's up in all of them, but it's razor thin, and you know what the plan is, right? To get it within the margin of error, and then comes the interesting. Then comes the the plumbing problems. They're crazy. Yeah, it's a brand new stadium. It's just a terrible plumbing problems. Everyone go home now. Let's put up all the pieces of cardboard on the windows. No. Not going to allow that to happen. Not this time. No. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got great energy, and we want to start off on a positive note because we're going to talk about some dark things that Matt Gaetz told the world yesterday, that there are assassin teams hunting President Trump. If President Trump's defeat was assured, and if there was nothing to fight against, they wouldn't be trying to assassinate him. First off, let's just set the table there. If Donald Trump was doomed, and if everything was doomed, why the lawfare? Why the lawsuits? Why putting him in jail? Why the assassination attempts? They know that President Trump has resonated with members of society that have never, ever been reached before. I'm going to play you two clips. Two guys couldn't have been from different backgrounds. One is a dude that I met on the street the other day. Guy walks up to me, and he's on a bike, and he has a sign that says, "I just got out of jail." And the dude just wanted to talk with me. Dude's on a bike. He says, "I'm 47 years old. I've never voted before. And here's who I'm going for in 2024.
I'm the 2024?
Yeah. Give me the first one I vote for. Yeah.
He's your first vote ever?
Yeah, I would never vote for nobody else. Well, Clinton and some of them old ones and that, right? You know, he's just strong to me.
Yeah.
He's a strong president. He got more balls than a lot of them, you know what I mean? That's real.
So you just got out of jail. You know the system, man. They're trying to put Trump in jail.
I think it's real bad. He's the only one gonna pull that motherfucking trigger one at a time.
Yeah.
We need to go ahead and get somebody strong in this.
I think Trump.
You got to get someone strong in there. He's the only guy who's going to pull the trigger. We need a strong president. So you have this guy, this man who's never voted before, who got out of prison, who's voting Trump. And then I bring you this guy who's gone viral all across social media, got his shirt off. He's double fisting a beer and what's got to be like some Tito's in a cup. And he looks straight down the barrel of CNN's microphone and explains exactly why he's voting Trump. You couldn't get from different backgrounds, these two guys. You could not get two guys from two different backgrounds, and they both decide on Trump for the same reason. Here we go.
What's your most important issue?
The economy, getting the interest rates down, getting it to where we can afford to live in America. Right now, it's too expensive.
Okay, now let me maybe ask like a slightly impolite question. But, you know, if you can afford a boat, you're not hurting so bad, right? Because a boat costs a lot of money and it's a lot of upkeep.
Listen, nobody gave me shit. I earned everything that I've got. I'm retired military, retired power plant, and I am successful and retired and with boats, jet skis, because I did it right. And everybody has that chance. Whether they choose or not, that's up to them.
I would never try to take anything away from you in that way. But what I'm asking is, groceries are probably a smaller part of your budget than, say, you know, someone who's like a little worse off. I think it's interesting that people who are a little bit more comfortable are still so concerned about the economy. Did you see what I'm saying?
Because I want my money to go further. I want inflation to go down. I want interest rates to go back down. I want all that. But that covers everybody in the economy. Not just me, not just the poor, not just the rich. It covers everybody.
Now, something I've heard from some people, tell me if this applies to you, is like they're worried their kids aren't able to afford a house or a car.
No, I trained my kids and taught my kids properly. They have great educations, and they're both successful in their careers. Actually, they're doing better than me.
This is why, ladies and gentlemen. This is why. This is why they have to attack President Trump. Those two men on those two interviews there's so little that they have in common, most likely. And they're both voting Trump. They can't stop a movement that has such wide populist appeal. Populism is popular. What President Trump says resonates with people. Why don't we spend our money here in this country? Why don't we put America first? Why don't we look at the population that's here instead of flying people in from the third world to replace that population? Why don't we care about our own people, our own Native Americans, people that were born here? Their lives are in shambles. And that's then like 300 million Americans that are like, yes, actually, I agree with that. That's a great point that you've just made. That vibes with me. And that's why, listen, the assassination attempts wouldn't be necessary if they were actually winning. They're not winning. And so it's like it's very encouraging, ladies and gentlemen, even with all the suppression polls. Jerry's put a meme in the chat. I guess we got it as a play beside here. Typically, Jerry does not meme bomb the chat during live shows, but it is free for all Friday, so let's go. CNN reporter, average American with a vote.
Not like a bird, actually more like a hard-ass pterodactyl. Ah! That's right, I said hammy.
Balls to the wall.
Okay, that's all right. CNN in that clip. I mean, just taking a quick moment. That CNN goes, you've got a boat, so you shouldn't care about how much anyone has to spend in gas or groceries because you can afford it. Shut up. Don't you understand? Like, this is how dumb these reporters are. That's the point of the dude. The dude is America first. Yeah, that he says, I'm ex-military, I'm retired, I've worked hard, I've got money. Okay, I've got a boat, I'm living the American dream, he says. He actually cares about his fellow Americans. Unlike Oprah last night, unlike Kamala and her donors, they don't actually care about their fellow Americans. They don't care. They're rich, they got theirs, screw everyone else. Let's destroy Springfield, Ohio, East Palestine, the rest of America, they can go get bent. This is how these people think. They got theirs. They can get on a private jet to Paris, right? And they don't have to see any of it. This guy, don't you understand? The fact that this guy cares is the point. That's what America First actually is. This is why they're trying to kill Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, exclusive Matt Gaetz claims there are 5 known assassination teams in the United States to kill President Trump. Representative Matt Gaetz said during an appearance on Breitbart News, there are currently 5 known assassin teams in the United States, 3 of which are foreign. What does that mean the other 2 are? The other two are like funded by our State Department. Like, what does that mean? The other two are they like Costco teams? What is this? Tragic, avoidable, Gates said when asked about his thoughts on the second assassination attempt. I'm starting to get the impression that we do not have enough force protecting the president of the United States. How many of these assassination teams came through on the southern border? Given the threat environment, he said, noting that recently he met with a senior official at the Department of Homeland Security who said there are at least 5 known assassin teams in the United States, at least 3 of which are foreign and are out to kill Trump. My goodness. This, of course, following the news that there was either a electromagnetic microwave or chemical attack on Trump supporters at a Tucson rally that left some supporters blind in just a condensed area. This following the shocking revelations that a guy who was recruiting for the Ukrainian military, terrorists who are living in Iran, Ryan Routh, who has no job, somehow able to crisscross the world, vote in states he doesn't live in, buy a firearm in spite of a criminal record, 73 criminal counts, plus a weapons of mass destruction felony. This guy was able to get within 300 yards of President Trump. Secret Service, FBI, they all knew about him, and they let him go within 300 yards of President Trump. And now the FBI is not cooperating on the investigation in Florida. We'll get to that clip in just a second. First, here's what Gates said yesterday about the assassination teams roving the country, I guess, looking for President Trump.
And I'll break a little news for you. I had a senior official from the Department of Homeland Security in my office before the second assassination attempt saying that what he has assessed is that there are 5 known assassination teams in the United States, 3 inspired by other governments, 2 that are here that are known domestic assassination teams. And with that, this individual was coming to me concerned that the force protection around President Trump, even prior to that second assassination attempt, was not sufficient for what it needed to be. And the coordination at that level, at the dignitary protection level, is like the bare minimum that we have to do to keep our presidents, our presidential candidates safe while they're on the trail.
So there are 5, I just want to follow up, 5 assassination teams. Are they all targeting Trump? Is it other officials?
Yes. No, wow. I should have been clear about that. 5 teams that we know are targeting Trump. And so that raises real questions about why certain teams were being pulled off of the Trump detail and put on, for example, the Jill Biden detail. Now, we don't want anything bad to happen to Jill Biden, but at the same time, the threat envelope for her was substantially different than the threat envelope around President Trump, and it would not have necessitated pulling assets away from the Trump detail for the Jill Biden detail or the John Bolton detail or any other details that were beefed up. At the same time, the requests from the Trump detail and from the Trump campaign for more security were going unanswered.
If there's 5 known assassin teams roving the United States, then why don't you go arrest them? If there are known assassination teams from a foreign country, why don't we cut off aid to that country? You know, America could really crush a nation, right? It depends on the country, but like it can really harm a nation if a nation is trying to facilitate, let's say Iran, all right? Iran is trying to fund an assassination team of President Trump. Iran has produced a video that is quite shocking right here. We'll play it for you. Here's Iran's video that shows President Trump getting killed from the bushes of his golf course. I wonder where the assassin, Ryan Routh, got the idea. This is an official video that was promoted and was posted by the president of Iran. After posting this video, Joe Biden decided to give Iran billions of dollars. Is that square? There you go. There's a photo of Soleimani right there on the guy's screen. Donald Trump gets assassinated via a unmanned drone device inside of his Palm Beach golf course while golfing from the weeds. Man, it makes you wonder, really. It shocks the conscience. Incredible. Yeah, I wonder where the guys get their okay, so let's say Iran has an active assassination team here in the United States of America. So you then leave President Trump vulnerable at multiple rallies at his golf course. They're literally publishing videos like this. You don't check the weeds at the golf courses? Hello, Bueller. Hello. And then worse than that, you don't cooperate with the state of Florida when they are doing their own criminal investigation because the feds can't charge the assassination attempt. Ron DeSantis announcing yesterday that the FBI refuses to even let his investigators get on scene here. Wow.
Are the feds being cooperative with your investigation? Are you concerned that you're not getting the information you need?
The answer is no, they're not being cooperative. Yes, I am concerned. I mean, for example, we were rebuffed. Our investigators were rebuffed just going to the fence line outside of Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. And so I think they've taken the position, they don't want the state of Florida to be involved in this. But here's the thing. There were multiple violations of Florida law across multiple jurisdictions. We think at least 3 judicial circuits. This guy, Ryan Routh, committed potential violations of Florida law. So we have a duty to investigate this. We have a duty to bring the appropriate charges. And we also have a duty to inform the public about how this happened. So I don't anticipate they're being cooperative. I think that they've just taken that position. And I think that that's unfortunate because even though I've been very clear, state of Florida is going to do an investigation, I've not disputed their right to also investigate. It's the federal government. He was in their protective custody as a presidential candidate. But let us do this. So hopefully that tune will change. But I can tell you right now, Laura, we have not gotten a lot of receptive response.
So this wouldn't be the first time that the feds have told Republicans who wish to simply keep our candidate from getting killed by either a foreign nation or a domestic team, as Matt Gaetz says, that the feds have said, effectively F off. This is what the feds are saying to investigators in the Senate, the House, on a state level. It really begs the question, quite frankly. Do they want Trump dead? It's a quote that's really stuck with me from Elon Musk. Gross incompetence is indistinguishable from malevolence. It really doesn't matter what's in their heart. It really doesn't matter what's in their brain. All you have to do is watch their actions. Look at enough stupid people doing stupid things together is going to lead to buildings collapsing and bridges collapsing and people getting hurt. And this is what you're seeing now from a Fed level. Josh Hawley saying that he has new whistleblowers inside of the Secret Service saying, oh, baby, it's about to get much, much worse. What happened at Trump's golf course is just the tip of the iceberg. They knew the shooter and they saw the shooter before he pointed the barrel at Trump. Watch.
There are known vulnerabilities at that course. That is, areas where you can get a clear line of sight from off the course of people playing the course, if that makes sense. So it has been Secret Service protocol to station agents at these known sites before Trump would play the course. That apparently didn't happen. It sounds as if they didn't even sweep the perimeter. I mean, this is really strange.
So, whoa, they're not saying anything. It's Butler 2.0. Now, you will recall, if you watch the show, it's like very smart audience, because we do our best to show you all of the evidence. The day after Butler, there was a Secret Service whistleblower who said they're going to get Trump again. He said in 30 days, there's going to be another assassination attempt. In 30 days, they're coming for Trump again. And lo and behold, 60 days. 60 days. And in between those two assassination attempts, people have rushed the stage at Trump rallies. And we just had the mysterious car bomb that disappeared and reappeared at Trump's rally in New York. I think they have some dark things planned. So got to keep your head on a swivel. But also, where the hell are the feds on this? Killer Klein, I see you have that up. Let's just pop it up. You see the evidence. We'll show you the evidence. Plenty to say on the program, but we are the ones who show you the evidence, okay? Yeah, put it up, please. And scroll on down. You can see here the whistleblower exchange saying this is after Butler. Trump's going to get shot again. Man, you got to check in with people who were right. Who's been predicting this? Bongino, Tucker, Alex Jones. They've been predicting this. Who've been saying it? They were called crazy now. And this whistleblower said, no, this is insane. This won't happen again. And now, what are they going to do? They're calling Matt Gaetz crazy. Isn't that amazing? They're saying, Matt Gaetz nuts. 5 assassination teams. What are they talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, a member of Congress who is also briefed on these assassination teams, who can shed some more light on the threats against President Trump, the great Andy Biggs of Arizona. Here we go. Congressman, thank you so much for being on the program. This, of course, shocked the world, but maybe there's nothing shocking left for us in this political landscape that seems to be just like suicidal for President Trump and the entire MAGA movement. Love to talk to you about the comments yesterday. 5 assassination teams. Were you briefed on this as well?
Well, my briefing wasn't exactly 5 teams, but I talked with Matt about it. But my briefing said that Trump remains the #1 target, and there are assassination teams in the country. And so we know what some of those teams are from. We know like Iran is one of those teams. We know that Pakistan has one of those teams. We know that there's some domestic teams. And these are, Benny, what makes this particularly pernicious is if you can get some ostensibly, now remember, ostensibly here, some 20-year-old kid with no experience who somehow manages to put together advanced explosives with detonation equipment, sneak by, do a drone reconnaissance, get on top of the building, and take a shot at the president and kill somebody else. And then you get this other crazed guy that, we can go into his background a little bit too. That's what's pernicious here is if those types of individuals are getting shots off at the president, if you actually have these teams that both Matt's been briefed separately from me, and then the briefing that I got, and then we compare notes. This is particularly dangerous to President Trump and also to the country. I mean, let's just be frank here. That would be very inducing to a total split in this country if President Donald Trump is assassinated, or even if there's one more real assassination attempt on President Trump before this election cycle.
Begs the question, Congressman, why don't we cut off all foreign aid, all funding, and put up a military front against countries that are actively running assassination teams? This is insane. What you just said is insane, that Iran and Pakistan are running assassination teams. And this is just allowed? Did these assassination teams just fly in? Were they welcomed in to the country across an open border, like in Arizona? How long have we known about these? And we don't go after the actual nation states that are running these teams? What world are we living in?
Well, so we don't know. I don't know. I was not briefed on how they entered the country. I wasn't briefed on how they know they're here. And the third thing is I was not sure after the brief whether we actually seeing a nation, but Iran has said that they want to run assassinations against Donald Trump. So you can presume perhaps that Iran is, and I don't know what the status is of whether these are foreign governments or whether these are terrorist cells that are based in those states that are coming over here, if I can put it that way. In other words, for instance, if you know a cartel's coming over here, Mexico's not necessarily running it, but they're Mexican cartels that are here engaged in acts. And I'm not saying cartels attempting assassination. I'm just using that as an example. But the problem that you have here, Benny, is because I do believe that what Elon Musk said is true about, if you got enough incompetence there. But I also kind of believe that what Mike Lee said after the first assassination attempt, when Mike said, this looks like a biblical style. I mean, we're talking David Bathsheba and Bathsheba's husband, where he basically David puts this guy where he knows he's going to be killed. He doesn't say kill him. but he allows it to happen. And that's the question that you have to ask yourself. Is there enough protection going on to prevent the danger that we know is real and palpable to Donald Trump? And I'm just going to say this one other thing. There is probably no one else in the world who has more threats against them than Donald J. Trump.
So you've been briefed by the Department of Homeland Security. This is what Matt said. I assume you got so you said you got a similar briefing. Yeah. They say that President Trump is the #1 target on Earth. They say that Trump has the largest footprint and has the #1 threat assessment against him on Earth. And yet they have denied his security requests?
Yeah, so I want to make clear. Mine was kind of a whistleblower. I'm just going to style him as a whistleblower. Mine was not an official briefing, Benny, just so you know. But second of all, you get to the real point of it, the real heart of it. Why are they denying Trump's requests? And let me just give you this. I don't even know that Trump should have to be making these requests. If you know that the danger is real, you have got to respond because that's your job. And get this, it's really bad because only 40% of Secret Service agents are on protective detail. And so 60% of your agency is doing things like counterfeit money. That's important, and cybersecurity, and that's important. But your fundamental mission is protective detail. And you know you have real threats going on here, and are you allocating to that? Instead, what's happening is you're taking from Homeland Security investigations, and Vinny, Homeland Security investigations has almost 1,300 of their agents in United Nations General Assembly this next couple of weeks because they're in session. And so, and that's not HSI's fundamental job. They're giving them a brief PowerPoint/video briefing on how to be protective detail. And that doesn't do it. That does not cut the mustard here when the threat's real.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about a criminal cartel, the United Nations, and we're protecting it. Yeah. There's been multiple attacks. I have so many questions about Ryan Routh. We seem to be one of the only shows that is even remotely curious about how Ryan Routh is voting in states he doesn't live in, owning a firearm, even though he has 73 criminal convictions. But I'd really like to ask you about something that flew a little bit under the radar yesterday in your home state, in Arizona, in Tucson. President Trump went and did a rally there, and then members of the rally in a very condensed area, in a very tight area, members of the MAGA movement reportedly go blind, and they all have similar either chemical or microwave burns. And I mean, it defies comprehension, but at this time, you got to like rule it in. Was there potentially an attack on President Trump at this rally in your home state that included weapons that might not have been, ballistics, may have been chemical or microwave in nature? We know these weapons do exist.
Yeah, so what you're talking about, and Benny, you're right here. We just don't know enough about it. I haven't gotten a briefing on this, but you had about 20 to 25 people. So if you see these Trump rallies, you're going to see people right behind Donald Trump when he's speaking, right? And in this particular case, you had some Latinos, and I know some of those people that were there, and they developed these. And they believed it was chemical, probably chemical of some kind. We didn't see, President Trump didn't seem to get any of that reaction, but those people behind him did, behind the stage. And that's the question that we have is who all, we don't even know, Benny, we don't even know who all suffered those same symptoms. We don't know what possibly could have even caused. I mean, we could have been chemicals, maybe microwave, but probably chemicals. But you can see in the pictures that you guys do. And by the way, thank you for bringing this up. But I got to also say thank you for staying on the first assassination attempt. Who's talking about that anymore? That's gone the way of the dodo. Who's talking about the second assassination attempt? They don't even want to talk about that. And those are both real. And now we need to find out and get to the bottom of this apparently environmental, I'll just say environmental hazard that took place at the Tucson rally. So we don't, and that's one we absolutely don't know very much about at all.
And you can't, I mean, can can you rule out that there was some type of microwave and or chemical attack? According to I'm not sure if they're your constituent congressman, but they're from your state. You say you know them. The physicians who've been treating these individuals say that they were the victims of a chemical burn, some type of chemical burn and attack. And right there in that cluster behind President Trump, right when he walked in, those people have been hospitalized and have been blind for days. This seems like an absolutely shocking revelation.
Yeah, and if you look, there's about 25 to 30 people right there. And the reports that I have received is that about 20 to 25 of them experienced this, and it's being categorized or reported as being a chemical reaction or a reaction to some chemical. And you can actually have chemicals that are odorless that actually produce this kind of skin irritation and burn. You can, and we just don't know what all was there. And the reports are very sketchy right now, Benny, and we're trying to get more information on it.
So I want to get. I know we're. I know that there's been some breaking news out of Congress. Looks like some work was actually done in Congress. Shocking. I don't know. It was. What did we get, guys? I'm sorry, my producers got buried here. We got a bill passed. Look at that. Oh, Secret Service expansion package. Okay, was voted for. How did you vote for this, Congressman? This is enhanced security for presidential security. Yes.
Yeah. And so we voted on that. And what it's supposed to do is like President Trump, because he's a former president, they haven't been giving him the same priority as you were giving Joe Biden, for instance. And we're like, hey, come on now. You've got to do some real response to the threat assessments, and you've got to treat President Trump. If he really is the number one target in the world, and there's no reason for me to dispute that, maybe you have to give him maybe another couple of guys. But you know what I'm saying? The bottom line ultimately is this. I think that Secret Service, and I've got a proposal that the Secret Service give up some of its counterfeiting and cyber missions to other agencies that could do that, and then get all of your protective detail back in there.
Yep.
So, so you have 100% working on protective detail. And that seems to me a real simple solution. It's been met with guffaws actually from both sides of the aisle, but I'm just telling you, until we actually take protective detail seriously, we look like a potential banana republic, and that cannot be if you're a constitutional republic.
I cannot believe what you just said to me. I mean, it's like I know we're gonna move. I know we got to move on here, and everyone's heading out to DC. But like, I just can't believe it. You just said kill teams from Pakistan and Iran, and domestically, whatever that means, that they're just allowed to roam free. Like, this is not a panic time. Like, nobody's even worried about this. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here, Congressman. How are we normalizing this?
The way it gets normalized is people just can't accept it. They can't believe it. But this is why I get back to it, and I say thanks for keeping assassination attempt 1, assassination attempt number 2 in the forefront, because I just can't believe the short-term memory of Americans. I mean, I love Americans. I love this country. It's a great country. But good grief. Can we not remember 6-7 weeks ago, that first assassination attempt? Can we not remember just the last weekend where you have this other thing? And so that's why my proposal is that you basically maybe because okay, I'm gonna give this to you. I know I'm sputtering here. I'm almost sounding like Kamala Harris here for a second. But here's the way to think about it. They are taking people off of sex trafficking detail from Homeland Security, and they're plugging it into protective security. So that means that you're letting sex trafficking, drug trafficking go on while you're taking almost 20% to 25% of your HSI force and putting them over there, and they don't have the adequate training to be protective. And why is that? Well, because they're working on counterfeiting in Secret Service. Stop it. Stop working on counterfeiting, and let's start protecting You need to protect Kamala Harris. I bet she's getting death threats. You got to protect Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, and you got to protect Joe Biden. How about protecting those people who, for good, the Trump team, or ill, the Kamala team, are actually targets for assassination? Let's do that. How about focusing on that fundamental mission for a while at the Secret Service? And if you need to, if you're worried about counterfeiting, give that back to FBI so they will stop spying on Americans with their domestic terrorism unit. So how about doing some of that stuff and reorganizing a little bit? And that's what I've proposed. And, it's like, well, Andy, thanks for that wonderful idea.
Just really, really quickly, what does a domestic assassination team mean? When you say that there's foreign and domestic assassination teams, what does that mean?
Well, there's maybe some organic groups, and I don't know who they might be tied to, who are looking to do harm to President Trump, kill President.
I say this, and here's the congressman's social media. Please follow him on X. He's just excellent. 880,000 Americans can't be wrong. I say this. I think he speaks for both of those congressmen. If Kamala Harris supporters were getting chemical attacked, if Kamala Harris was getting grazed by bullets, if Kamala Harris on her off time had people stalking her from the bushes with firearms, like, I would be the first one screaming from the rooftop that she needs to be protected, because that's not the kind of country I want to live in. And I'm really glad to hopefully see some of this break through the partisan nature of politics these days. Yeah.
I hope it does.
Yeah. Thank you for fighting, Congressman. Rep. Andy Biggs, ladies and gentlemen. They're beautiful. They're from beautiful Arizona. Keep your people from chemical attacks, please, sir. Thank you.
Will do. Thanks,
all right. Godspeed, sir. I had to ask, like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Oh, we're just going to let Iran run a terrorist team, that's an assassination team. We're just going to let them go. Boy, hope they collecting their Hilton points as they move from city to city. Hope they're getting their airline miles as they try and kill our president, the guy who's winning. Hope it doesn't happen too soon. Really, it really is remarkable. There was a New York Times piece about this. It's amazing how these people actually, predictive programming is what it's called. When a Hollywood movie comes true, right? There's like an entire Netflix series about a chemical train exploding in a small town in Ohio that was released 2 years before East Palestine. I'm not saying that they're connected. I'm saying that it's predictive program. I'm saying that something that Hollywood did came true. They made a movie with shocking accuracy about something that happened in the real world. And this does tend to happen. And there was a New York Times op-ed that was written. It was like murder porn about a foreign assassination team trying to kill Trump. And they wrote this and about how the Secret Service helped them. It was written years ago. It was about in this foreign assassination team tries to kill Trump, and the Secret Service facilitates it. What a crazy world we're living in, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's a palate cleanser for you. Donald Trump, I promised you this. Donald Trump saying he's Batman to a little boy. How about that? How about this for a palate cleanser? Do this one. Here we go.
Is apparently Batman. Yes, that's what he told a 9-year-old boy from Iowa who rode on his helicopter this weekend at the Iowa State Fair. Watch the YouTube video.
Yes. Mr. Trump.
Yes.
Are you Batman?
I am Batman.
That's pretty cute, actually. My colleague John Berman asked one of Trump's top advisors in Iowa about that claim today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is that was a much needed palate. Was there more to that video, Klein? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Boys, I do want to know sniper's nest POV. This looks very, very interesting. So in our script today, we had to jump over to the congressman, but I did want to get to the sniper's nest point of view. So have they now been able to get cameras inside of the sniper's nest at Trump's golf course? Let's watch.
If Trump had made it to the 6th green, this would have been Ruth's line of sight. That's an even easier shot than what Thomas Crooks had in Butler. Here's exactly what Ryan Ruth did. Watch this.
This is likely where the suspect parked his car, and he went into the bushes right there. I'm approaching where the suspect went into the bushes. This is the actual site right here. This is the actual area where the suspect entered the bushes. This is the area, exact spot where the suspect bag was found with the rifle. View right onto the golf course. There's a flag right there.
Secret Service knew about this gaping hole, did nothing.
We've been working on some stuff from a business perspective. These are busy times right now to, sort of make sure that we're all set for 2025 and locked in. So I didn't see that clip in pre-production for the show. I am astonished. So that is the exact setup. That's the same setup they had in Butler. It's the same setup. We went to Butler. We walked the grounds. This is the exact same setup. All you needed was to have a uniformed officer standing there saying, no one's allowed to approach the hedges. No one's allowed to walk up to the gate here. All you need to do is have a uniformed officer on the top of the building, the AGR building. We have our documentary loaded, guys? Yeah. Do we have that? Can we do that as a play-beside? And then the actual documentary? All you needed to do was put on a rooftop. I mean, we mapped it out here. We actually built it all. We built the entire thing digitally. All you needed was an officer. There you go, right there. You see here on screen. See that 150? You see that 150 feet right there? See that? That's all you needed was an officer on that building. Some guy walks up. Thomas Crooks comes gangly up the side of the building with the gun. And the officer says, pew, pew, you're done. Could have had the water tower. Could have had anything. You had sniper team sitting there. But nope. Thomas Crooks gets the shot off. Nearly kills the president. Eric Prince told us if it was a body shot, Trump would be dead. I mean, he'd be dead. If he had aimed for his body and not his head, he'd be dead. Was able to get eight other rounds off. And the Secret Service has the audacity this week to... The Secret Service Director Lunkhead has the audacity to come in and tell us that he's done a great job and he's really proud of their work. Guys, it's a terrifying reality. The terrifying reality is that this assassination is now matching very similarly what we saw happen to Trump at Palm Beach. It's almost like they ran the same playbook. Crazy. Ron DeSantis talking about Ryan Routh, how strange it is. And remember, this guy's in custody here in Florida. So the shooter's in custody here in Florida. What do we know about him? So strange, this case. What has the governor found out? Because the governor's running his own investigation team and is now doing exactly what he needs to be doing, which is keeping the heat up and the attention on this. What do we know about Ryan Routh? DeSantis, go.
By the way, we have Ruth's mugshot where he looks to be slightly smirking. He's a very strange individual, to say the least, but we've heard other FBI agents, former agents, governors say they think it's quite odd that in the first assassination attempt and the second assassination attempt, there's almost an immediate response from the feds saying that, oh, looks like he's acted alone, or we really don't know what the motives are here. Oh, does that strike you as slightly strange, to say the least?
Yeah, I don't think the public has confidence when that is being done. So as soon as we got word of this on Sunday, I told our guys in state law enforcement, save all his social media, because Facebook will delete it. The tech companies want to delete it.
Right.
Get his digital trail, store that, because we need to know, how did he end up in Florida to begin with? What is this pathway this guy has taken to end up in those bushes trying to assassinate the former president of the United States and current Republican nominee? How did that happen? And we have not gotten answers about Butler. We haven't gotten answers about things like the Las Vegas shooting from many years ago. So part of the investigation that our folks are doing is they are going to provide evidence they find of motive, evidence of his associations, and evidence of his beliefs.
Good.
I think that's very important that the public get the real story on that.
Very proud of the governor. Very proud of the governor of the state. Very proud of the way that DeSantis is handling this. We were the first show to call for DeSantis. We were the first show that came out with Eric Prince and saying, DeSantis, you've got to grab this thing by the balls and own it. You've got to rip it away from the feds. You've got to make your own parallel investigation. You have all legal and statutory rights to do that. And man, the guy is not disappointed. Good for you, man. Proud of him. This is exactly, he's bringing up the Vegas shooting. Yeah, biggest mass shooting in American history. We know nothing. We know nothing. Zilch, nada. Who was running the guy? How did he get all the guns? How did any of this operation happen? How many gunmen were there? We know nothing. Why were there so many emergency calls all over Vegas of shooters in lobby? What's going on here? Helicopters flying above, the whole thing. It's nuts. It's crazy. The whole thing makes no sense at all. And the feds have done nothing. They did one press conference. I cannot believe it. They did one press conference and then it's done. You should do a daily press briefing. We should be able to bring that to you daily with what they find and what they know about the Trump assassination 1, a Trump assassination 2, but we've seen nothing. Find out more by talking to his neighbors. Apparently his neighbors say that he would disappear for 3 years at a time. This guy is such an asset. Dude, this guy is such an asset. Mike Benz was on the show earlier this week saying this guy was some type of operational cog inside of this human centipede of a consultancy outside of some type of American foreign policy interest. And that's why he was able to promise terrorists no-look visas getting into Ukraine. His neighbors say he just disappeared for years and they wouldn't know where he goes. Well, we know what he was doing. He was flying internationally, running ops, recruiting terrorists to come fight in Ukraine. It's a passion project. It's got the whole thing, got an entire website up about it. Here's what his neighbors have to say.
He was gone like 3 years before then, they was calling and asking me and, check on the house. Yeah. Yeah. It was cool with me. Yeah. He brought me a shirt, like I said, from Hawaii and all when I came and all. And thank you for watching the house and gave me a hug for you.
Do you know what he's doing in Hawaii? He's working out there?
He's the girlfriend. She posted something about a Victoria's Secret person, supervisor or manager or something. And that's why they were traveling. He had been in Europe, something over there too. That's what they said.
So he's lying about why he's going to Europe. He's telling his neighbors who are watching his house why he's going to Europe. Victoria's Secret model or something. Dude, the assassination attempts wouldn't be necessary if they felt confident in winning. Why take the risk? Here's why, ladies and gentlemen. Kamala Harris last night did a Oprah conversation, I guess you could call it. It wasn't really a conversation. Harris looks for a boost from Oprah as part of digital first media strategy. Vice President Kamala Harris is looking for a boost with persuadable, less motivated voters as she participated in the live stream on Thursday with the former talk show host Oprah Winfrey. Our show right now, concurrently, is getting twice the viewership that Oprah and Kamala Harris got last night. So round of applause. Give me that applause, Klein. Go. Give me that applause. No. Get me the applause, Klein. Give me the applause. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Applause. We're doing twice the concurrence right now. Across all platforms, we're doing probably 5 or 6 months. So thank you. You're the real MVP, ladies and gentlemen. Vice President Kamala Harris looked for a boost with persuadable and less motivated voters. She's with Oprah Winfrey to focus on the middle class. Oh, okay. Well, Oprah Winfrey's worth $5 billion. She's someone who has hustled her way into owning, well, the entire plantations in Maui. Never once offered a single acre of those plantations to the people who were burned alive and out of their homes in Lahaina. We studied this. Why do we care? I mean, it's amazing. It's like the dude from CNN in the boat with the shirt off. We care because we love our fellow Americans. I'm sure you do too. I'm sure you'd be really concerned if people at Kamala's rallies were getting chemical attacked. I bet you'd be concerned about that. Because you have a spark of life left in your soul. You still have a soul. Oprah, who owns a 1,000-acre, we've checked. This is fully available. You can actually go see. She's in her own magazine. She published about how lavish and expansive her 1,000-acre plantation, yes, this is what they call them, in Hawaii is, and never once, not once, when thousands of people were displaced by mysterious fires that raged through the working class part of Maui, a small town called Lahaina. Maybe you've been there. It's a pretty popular place. When that place was burnt to ashes and the sea was boiling and those people were left homeless and living in lean-tos on the side of the road, Oprah didn't open up her plantation for a single one of them. And so we've had about a bellyful of these fake-ass celebrities who are unspeakably cruel, actually, to their fellow Americans, who come in every 4 years without doing a single good thing for this country, except for dividing us further and poisoning us further against ourselves. I am so sick of these elites that come flying in on their jets. Taylor Swift, Oprah. What? Pull up Oprah's net worth. I want to see it. Pull up Oprah's net worth right now. Get me Oprah's net worth. Get me Taylor Swift's net worth. Let me ask you a question. You think Oprah or Taylor Swift give a shit about the cost of groceries? You think these billionaires who own these plantations care about the cost of gas? $3 billion. Would you look at that? So Kamala goes on stage with somebody worth $3 billion to talk about the cost of groceries. Oprah couldn't even open up her plantation, a single acre. She has 1,000 acres. 1,000. What's Taylor Swift's net worth? Oh, good. $1.3 billion. Taylor Swift has multiple private jets. Oprah has multiple plantations. Doesn't open up a single acre of them to the people who are burned alive in Lahaina under mysterious circumstances. Haven't seen Taylor Swift offer to pay for anyone's gas or grocery bills anytime recently. Yet these elites come out of the clouds off their golden encrusted private jets and lecture us about who to vote for. Well, of course you're voting for the status quo. Everything's been great for you, and it will most likely remain great for you. Why would you want change? Why would you want anything different? The system works for you. Let the people burn in Lahaina. That's what you say. We got that. Oh, we got the Oprah plantation, boys. Got that Oprah plantation? Yeah. Let the people burn while you got your plantation to go to. Remember, you got so many articles you've written about it in your own magazine about how rich you are. Wow, look at how beautiful it is. Sorry, I don't mean to rant here, but I'm not going to apologize. They deserve it. And it's time for us to say this. I am sickened by our ruling class. Our ruling class is detestable. Here's where Oprah lives. Give me a little scroll. Oh, look, they got the horse posing outside. You know, the horse lives better than the people in Lahaina. Look at how much land Oprah owns in Maui. You know, it's a teeny island. She owns like half of it. Look at that. I bet Oprah's animals live better than the people who were displaced in the Maui fires. Oh, look, Oprah. Oh, wow. She's so rich. This is exactly the person to have talked to Kamala Harris about the problems of the working man and woman. I'm sure this is what government housing looks like there in Gary, Indiana. Yeah, it looks like she's got some artwork and everything. This is an Oprah's own publication. You can see Oprah.com. So here's Oprah bragging about how rich she is and how lavish her life is from one of her 5 mansions around the world. It's very, very good for you, Oprah. Really, we're so proud of you. Hope you sit there. Hope you actually sat right in that rocking chair. Hope you sat right in that rocking chair and overlooked the blackened smoke as it burned. She's literally overlooking Lahaina there. I hope you sat there and overlooked the smoke. Maybe you could hear the screams, Oprah. Over your morning chai latte. Got it? No, that's a good one. Yeah. Should show you what scum these people are. Here you go. This is the lady. This is the lady who was lecturing. Here's the lady who was lecturing America about who they need to vote for, who they need to choose to associate with in the election. Here you go. Oprah with I just call it what it is, Black Jeffrey Epstein, and with white Jeffrey Epstein, movie Jeffrey Epstein. Here you go. How many different Jeffrey? Oprah literally locking lips with Harvey Weinstein. Oh my! Hope you brought some disinfectant. How many human monsters? I mean, what you're looking at there, these 2 photos are serial convicted, P. Diddy, soon to be convicted, sexual abusers. Harvey Weinstein spending the rest of his life in prison, will die in prison. And here's Oprah cuddling with them, kissing them, telling everyone they need to follow them, signal boosting them. I wonder how many young women who listened to Oprah then went and worked for Harvey Weinstein. I wonder what the horrible result of this was. For so many people, look at this. He's locking lips with him. Wow. And she's the one telling you who to vote for. She's the one saying, you got to vote this way. Amazing. Amazing. If you fall for this kind of stuff, I can't help you. If you fall for this kind of stuff, I cannot. We'll do our best, though, on this channel, ladies and gentlemen, to make fun of, Oprah and Kamala Harris last night. Oprah talking about childless cat ladies for Kamala. Here we go. Cringe.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams and ambitions for your family and working hard and finding that the American dream is, for this generation and so many recently, far more elusive than it's been. And we need to deal with that. And there are a number of ways. One is bringing down the cost of everyday necessities, including groceries.
Well, that is a play-beside now, please. There's a reason why, and I'm like 2 feet from the camera here. There's a reason why, so I can go like that. There's a reason why I do my very best to make eye contact with people, whether something you learn from a young age. My grandmother always used to say this. You're looking down, you have something to hide. You're looking up, you're lying. You look straight ahead, and you are speaking the truth. When you watch this should be a body language 101 exercise with Kamala Harris last night. Kamala Harris is lying the entire time. You can tell that because Kamala Harris the entire time gives all of her answers like this. Occasionally you'll catch me like looking down, gathering my thoughts. I would never deliver a show like looking off camera or looking away from you, cloistered up. You know this. Every parent knows this. You ever seen these parents? You ever interacted with a kid? You know they're lying when they can't make eye contact with you. There's something in the human soul. Satan, the author of lies. Kamala Harris asked by a dude like, yo, what are you going to do to protect? You're the border czar. What are you going to do to close down the border? It's a good one. Here we go.
Specific steps to strengthening the border.
So it's a wonderful and important question. My background was as a prosecutor, and I'm
going to stop right here. Is he on the ground? You're talking to another human being, lady. Is he in a fetal position in front of you? Why are your eyes like that? You know she's lying. Okay, I'll try to stop it.
the elected attorney general for 2 terms of a border state. So this is not a theoretical issue for me. This is something I've actually worked on. Okay. I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I take very seriously the importance of having a secure border and ensuring the safety of the American people.
It's like watching a robot at Disney like get turned on. It's like watching a robot like that had just repeats the same motion all day, like go and get turned on. This is the same answer she gave in the debate, the exact same answer. She's sitting there, she's looking down because she's lying, but also because she's trying to remember the line. She's desperately trying to remember the line. When things go bad, when she can't remember the lines. Here we go.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams and ambitions for your family.
Hold on. Producers, what's going on here? No. Did we not play the Childless Cat Ladies clip? Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Here's Childless Cat
Ladies for Kamala here. Rural Americans for Harris. Caregivers for Kamala. Train lovers for Harris Waltz. I didn't know there were train lovers. Train lovers.
Okay. Cringe. Oh, I called for it and you played the wrong clip. Klein. Sorry. That's okay. Kamala, something very strange happened last night. Kamala Harris said that she would shoot somebody who came into her house. Here we go.
When you said you have guns. No, at the debate. I'm
a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes. I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
I can't take 4 years of that. Please, I beg you with all of my soul and might, don't. Please banish Kamala Harris. Like, if she loses, she'll never get another shot, right? This is already an emergency. This is already a break the glass emergency poll for them. If she loses, she'll be gone forever. Okay. If she loses, she'll literally disappear. She's not even good enough for an MSNBC show. They know this. And I'll prove it to you, ladies and gentlemen, in the next clip. Elderly homeowner arrested after fatally shooting California burglary suspect. Oh, interesting here. So Kamala Harris says she'd shoot somebody if they broke into her home, yet California arrests people who do that. I look forward to the full investigation into Kamala Harris. All right, here's a nuclear cringe that is totally and completely off the reservation. Nuclear cringe. Kamala Harris asked what it means to be an American. How simple is this question? What does it mean to be an American? You've been an American. She was born here. You've been an American. Your entire life. You did live a considerable portion of your young life in Canada. This is where you got that urban accent, the leafy suburbs of Montreal. That's where Kamala Harris gets that real down home Southern foghorn leghorn accent. That's how they speak in Montreal. Okay, parlez-vous français. Kamala Harris. What does it mean to be an American? Kamala Harris should be able to answer this. This should be a very obvious thing to answer. Kamala Harris last night with a nuclear cringe. Let's go.
We are an optimistic people. Americans, by character, are people who have dreams and ambitions and aspirations. We believe in what is possible. We believe in what can be. And we believe in fighting for that. That's how we came into being. Because the people before us understood that one of the greatest expressions for the love of our country, one of the greatest expressions of patriotism, is to fight for the ideals of who we are.
There's a small little box at my home, a little box, and it sits on a desk with some little activities for my kids. I got a 4-year-old, I got a 2-year-old, I got an 11-month-old. Well, actually, 1-year-old, just turned 1 year. Got a 1-year-old. And here's what happens. The 2-year-old gets into that box, opens it up. It's little magnets with like letters on it. And then she slaps them all over the refrigerator. She can't reach that high. And she slaps them together. And she like occasionally like puts, you know, the little magnetic words, right? And she slaps them on. It's a fun little activity for her. My 2-year-old, who barely speaks English, slapping at random, high off of like a popsicle, okay, and like a bowl of ice cream, slapping at random magnetic stickers on the fridge makes more sense than what Kamala Harris just said. My 2-year-old, completely and totally like baby drunk off of milk, off of a bottle of milk. She got a little bottle of chocolate milk. She's all hyperactive. And she's slapping those little magnets on the fridge. She makes more sense than what Kamala Harris just said. I can't even paraphrase it because it doesn't make any sense. We are Americans at opportunity, and that opportunity is now. Today is America, and now is our opportunity. We, as American, opportunity. And of course, what you'll notice in that answer, and in every single one of these answers, is that Kamala Harris continually and perpetually cannot make eye contact with people. Do not trust people who do this. Do not. If someone's trying to like tell you something important and they're looking down, did you lie to me? Did you make that mess? You deal with this as a parent. Parents, shout yourself out in the chat. You deal with this as a parent every single day. Just little things, right? Who made the mess? And your kid looks like this, you know they're telling a lie. Kamala Harris can't look people in the eye. And she did this on every single answer. On every single answer, Kamala Harris. Look at this. The split screen's remarkable. Look at how the normal dork force couple here, right? The total soy cuck who's sitting here, like white dudes for Kamala. Look at this. Look at this poor Joseph A. Banks 2-for-1 dork force sitting there with a bridezilla. Okay, here we go. Time to go to Zoom class, honey. Yes, man. Yes, dear. Anyway, they get these two people ask questions. Don't know who they are. I'm trying to be nice. Look at how they are able to make these two people from who knows, Gary, Indiana, they're able to make eye contact. And Kamala Harris is not. What does that tell you? Our ruling class is despicable, ladies and gentlemen. It is despicable. But we're going to win. I believe it. I believe it in my very soul. Do we have that clip? We don't have the clip of the dude from on CNN yesterday. Jerry from Michigan. Let's load it up, boys. Come on. Jerry from Michigan. Jerry tells CNN exactly what's going down this election cycle. You're gonna love this. This is quite frankly, this is why they're gonna lose, because people are not convinced of this. We have the screenshots. Kamala Harris is live with Oprah, and we are doing more concurrence on this show on a Friday morning than Kamala Harris. Jerry from Michigan had the BBC come up into his grill. He's a Democrat. He's been a Democrat his entire life. And Jerry from Michigan gets asked, "Why? Who are you voting for?" on the BBC. This is nationalized television broadcast in socialist England. And so they thought they'd get a response of a lifelong Democrat in a swing state explaining how much he loves Kamala Harris. But lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, ooh, yes, this happens.
how are you feeling about the election? Who are you going to vote for and why?
I'm going to vote for Donald Trump this year. I am typically a Democrat. I've voted Democrat every year until Donald Trump ran for office. This year and in the past, I voted for Donald Trump. The reasons has been economical primarily. 3.5 years ago, I made more money. I paid less taxes. Gas prices were cheaper. Now, everything has tripled, including grocery prices. I can go to Subway to get a $7 sandwich for 6 inches now. That used to be half that price, $3. So everything is doubled. My grocery prices is doubled. I'm concerned about the border. We've let millions of people in, a lot of criminals, etc. The border needs to be shut down to where we only bring in those individuals that go through a legal process. And when Democrats were running for office like they're proposing now, they have this proposal of new homeowners getting a stipend of money to buy a house. Well, nothing is free. That means that if we give out more money, my taxes are going to go up to pay for those new owners.
All right.
So I'm going to live
a lot of issues
with a lot of less money every year just because they're giving it away to other people.
Okay, so a lot of issues.
Correction there. Tommy, not Jerry. Okay, Jerry, you're off the hook, Jerry. Tommy with the Tommy gun, baby. Tommy with the... So who you voting for? I'm a lifelong Democrat. Oh, good. You're going to be perfect for my interview. I'm voting for Trump. Oh, shit. Right away. Oh, it's so good. They've destroyed the economy. They've destroyed the border. They're starting new wars. They're not spending money here. They hate regular Americans, people who were born here. They're bringing on socialism. Play, cut. It's amazing. It's amazing. We're living in an incredible time. We're living in an incredible time, ladies and gentlemen. And since we showed you this, somebody who, you would call him an old timer where I come from, right? There's plenty of guys like this sitting around at coffee shops, and the coffee shops in Iowa are gas stations, right? You go and these old farmers, they sit in the gas stations at 5 a.m. You find like 20 of them sitting there in the gas stations. This guy looks, I don't know, 70, maybe 60, 70, right? Good old Tommy, the Tommy gun. Let's do the opposite. Let's find people that are maybe 50 years younger than Tommy. What do the youths have to say? Here we go. Oh, what do you think?
Fucking Trump. Trump 2024. Trump. If he ain't dead, I'm voting red.
I'm voting Trump.
2-time assassination attempt survivor.
I know, it's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Bulletproof.
Hella aura right there.
That's a hella
so
aura.
much aura. So much aura.
Trump. Who you going with? Trump.
Trump.
Probably Trump.
Trump, of course.
Yeah, 2024.
Yes, sir. Definitely more Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Oh, Trump.
Trump 24. At this point, I got Kanye.
Kanye wore a MAGA hat at the White House, so it's respectable. Trump or Kamala? What are we thinking, man?
Trump, man.
Trump.
All
Yes.
the way. You know who I got. Trump, let's go.
That's right. Trump.
All the way.
People try to kill him because he's right. I mean, what can I say? He's speaking the truth. Got to keep him in there. Got to keep him alive. Save the country.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala, because I want to get an abortion if I need to get an abortion.
Bye. Go home to mommy. Go home to mommy.
We have so much fun. We have so much fun on our new channels, ladies and gentlemen. Benny on the Block and Benny Brews. Please go ahead and give him a sub. We promise you we are going to be loading up our first content in the this weekend, actually. And we're going to be popping up shorts. Yeah, throw it up there, Klein. There you go, buddy. Okay, so we have 2 new channels. Thank you so much for subscribing. We appreciate the vote of confidence in us, as the channels have thousands of subscribers, and we are rolling out content this weekend. And it's going to be where we put our man on the streets, and that's all kind of got a lot more to come from that. We did an entire interview with 2 Canadians about whether Justin Trudeau is the bastard child of Fidel Castro. The Canadians would know. The Canadians would, in fact, know. Benny! Ask Benny Anything. Do we have a stinger for this yet? Have we not developed a stinger for Ask Benny Anything? Alex, this is the last week we're going to do Ask Benny Anything without a nice brigade stinger. I want a tank or a pirate ship rolling through. We got tank logo. We got the pirate ship logo. We're why not? Why not both, actually? This is the last week. We do Ask Benny Anything. Thank you to our Benny Brigade members for sending in questions. Kathy says, is President Trump going to wear protective gear, like a bulletproof vest, stand behind a bulletproof glass? Last, not least, have there been any police that have taken it upon themselves to just volunteer and protect him? You know, every single day, there's a new member of special forces that I see all volunteering to protect Trump and saying, you know, we'll do it for free. And this is a dangerous business. It's fraught. You know, you're going to have people that disagree with you. President Trump, to my knowledge, does not wear a bulletproof vest or protective gear. Now, there have been some people that show Donald Trump in like these larger trench coats where he has like a little bit of a bigger chest. There's been speculation on that. But I'll tell you, Catherine, there's no speculation on the bulletproof glass. Whenever President Trump is outside of an event, in the outdoors, it's different when he's indoors, like he was this week in New York for a rally. But when he's outdoors, he does have protective glass now. I mean, it is what it is, right? I don't like the look of it because there's these big reflections. It's a little harder with the clip. The clips aren't as crystal or clear, but at least President Trump will survive a bullet. Barack Obama speaks only behind protective glass, and if it's good enough for Obama, it's good enough for our guy. Okay, so that is good. And Donald Trump now has full presidential security detail, so he's moving massively now. He moves essentially with the entire army at his back. So praise God and thank God, and keep praying for President Trump. Douglas asks, Benny, I love Jerry and your meme machine. I have ideas of my own that I think would be humorous. Is there a platform where I can send them for submissions? Guide determine and you have you guys determine their usefulness. I like you am focused on helping persuade Americans. Making America great again is the path. Starting today, why don't we make a meme machine email for the team, and you can send us your comments. We'll get Eric on that right now. We'll get Eric on it. Manages the back end of all of our website and all of our emails and everything. So we'll get Eric on that. We'll put up it'll be meme machine at Benny Johnson, and that'll go to Jerry and the meme team. We have a pretty extensive meme team here. The only news show that actually has employs full-time memers and making careers. Make your memes be dreams. That's not just a slogan. It's actually real around here. And then you can submit your memes, Douglas. Meme machine at Benny Johnson. Maybe just meme at Benny Johnson. We'll tweet it later today. We'll tweet it. We'll put it up. If you have a meme idea, send it here, and Jerry will be on the receiving end of that email. Jerry, you're about to get some extra duty in the meme mines that you work in every single day. All right, Don Watson saying, not a question, just a follow-up to the 916 show that we listened to earlier this summer. Trump came out to San Francisco, Beverly Hills, and the OC. I attended the Beverly Hills event, which took place at the Beverly Hills mansion. Security was non-existent, maybe 4 Secret Service, 2 Beverly Hills, and SWAT team in front. Wow, Don, thank you for this comment. And that would, one, I'm jealous of you to like go chill with Trump in a mansion. That sounds awesome. As long as it's not Oprah's mansion in Maui. But I'll tell you, this is one of many, many people who've reached out to the show, many of them privately, some of them publicly, and have said, we were with Trump at this event or that event, and it seems like, if anything, his security's gotten worse. And so we're very thankful for the news that Donald Trump now has full presidential detail. A full presidential package is what they call it. Very, very thankful for that. We were actually on the phone earlier with Dan Bongino, and it's calling him about something different, and it's sort of getting his read on everything. And Dan says he has a lot more confidence now that there's a full presidential package around Trump. He's been the guy calling for it. Dan's been the guy calling for it. Who has the greater threats against him? The security should match the threat. It shouldn't be like a one-size-fits-all. You go to the vending machine and you punch in the number and you get what comes out. It should be matching the threat against President Trump. And the threats against President Trump is probably the most threatened man on planet Earth. Am I wrong? Come on. Am I wrong? He's probably the most threatened, politically active, known individual on the planet, without question. So yeah, make sure that it's ratcheted up, please. Okay. Thank you, Don. I really appreciate your question. You can ask your questions. Become a member of the brigade today, Benny Brigade. You can go to BennyJohnson.com, sign up today. It funds our team. Become a member here. Sign up in the chat. We really appreciate it. YouTube, Rumble rants, all of it. It keeps us going. The platform we're going to build. And the goal here is we're going to provide a truth vector against the corporate media and their lies. And you've seen the power of the corporate media taking the most unpopular vice president in American history. Can we get Kamala's final thing? Get me Kamala's favorability. This is Real Clear Politics, ALX. Kamala's favorability versus unfavorability. The power of the lies of the press. They have been able to grab Kamala Harris for the sake of their own power out of a nosedive into the center of the earth and pull her back up into like being on par with favorability versus unfavorability. The power of propaganda. Man, I don't want to create a propaganda channel. I'll happily tell you that I don't want attacks on anyone. I would feel very sorry if these things were happening. Kamala Harris, we'd be upset about it. Joe Biden or anyone. We're doing our best here. But we want to create a channel for truth. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. The power of propaganda. The black line is her favorability. The red line is her unfavorability. You can see here. Look at that. Look at what happened after the corporate press sank their teeth into her. Look at how low she was. Look at that. She was at 35% approval. 35%. This is just this year. This year, 2024, right there. Look at that. And then they flip the switch, right? Guys, we've got to build something outside. We've got to build something to combat this. And we're building it here. And there's a lot of awesome people that are doing the same thing. But we are 100% independent, and we are that's why we can do this. That's why we can go off on Oprah, right? That's why we can cover what we wish to cover here. We can talk about the assassination attempts. We can talk about the microwave attacks. We can talk about these kind of things. We can ask the congressman about it. And there's nobody who's going to be banging a pot over the top of our head. No. It's good. There's so many people that want to destroy us because of that. And so we thank you. We really, really deeply, deeply appreciate it. The best way to show our appreciation is the verse of the day. Here we go. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Ooh, wow. This is very important verse from Matthew. Rather, be afraid of the one who can destroy both body and soul in hell. Yes. Goodness. Yes, please. The words of Christ, ladies and gentlemen, from Matthew 10:28. The point of this is obviously that we shouldn't fear. We should not fear this earth. We should not fear. We should not put our hopes in man. We should not put our hopes in a party. We should not put our hopes in anything. We should put our hopes firmly, squarely upon Christ. And that will lead to our salvation. And this is just the martyr's way, quite frankly, on this earth, is we will be rejected by this earth. We've been under constant attack on this program this year. Constant attack. And that, honestly, we view this as like God disciplining us, like providing the discipline for us to carry on and continue and to grow and to be strong. This is what you must do. You must get torn down to be strong. And so we appreciate you on this journey with us. We have our hearts and our minds set firmly on what actually matters around here. And speaking the truth is part of I don't want to die and tell my kids I did nothing to help save this country. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're about. We're here to save the country. We're here to do it for our children. That's what drives and motivates us. I'm sure that's what motivates you. If you're a moral person, that's what motivates anyone. And if you're godless and you have no children and you have and you live just for the assumption of power, like Kamala Harris has her entire career, then yeah, you won't have that same drive. I'm sorry. It's like biological. It's inborn. It's in your DNA. It's hard coded, man. You're coded. If you have that in you, if you're here just like burn the place to the ground for your own power, well, then you're going to take a very different tact. You're going to care about very different things. And so you won't find that around here. You won't find that in these parts, ladies and gentlemen. We found a bunch of people that want to fight and save this country, and we do so, and we do so happily. You can't stop an army of happy warriors, ladies and gentlemen, and we're happily fighting for you and with you. May God bless you in this, the greatest country on earth. Have a wonderful weekend. It's your boy, Benny. See ya.
What the hell is that? Listen, we need backup. We've got company.
Whoa, they're spicy today.
What is that, a bazooka? I didn't sign up for this!
The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest kings. And their dying legacy, media deal weeds. Soon will the Benny Show come to mind. The salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun. We sail for #1. Show come to mind. The salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun. We sail for #1. The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest king.